Charlie Charlie, a game through which we can contact the wandering spirits in this world, souls that have been trapped for countless years due to unresolved issues and have yet to find peace. Some people dismiss it as a simple game, but others have lost everything to its terrifying consequences. Ghosts, spirits, and demons, just hearing about them is enough to instill fear in anyone. But when these entities appear as a challenge in front of someone, the consequences can be catastrophic. Peter, George, Daisy, and Denny were sitting in their college library when Peter started looking for a book on a specific shelf. Suddenly, one of the books fell off the shelf. Peter, wow, this is exactly what I was looking for, and it came to me on its own. Otherwise, finding a book in this library is as hard as finding a needle in a haystack. Peter picked up the book and returned to his friends. As he flipped through the pages, he found a folded page on the third page of the book. He unfolded it and saw a drawing of a cross marked into 4 sections. The quadrants had yes written in bold letters, and the other 2 had no. Confused, Peter turned the page over, but it slipped from his hand and landed near George's feet. George picked it up. George, oh, this is Charlie Charlie, but how did it end up here? Peter, Charlie Charlie? What's that? Peter, nothing much, just a game I saw on the internet. People play it to communicate with spirits who have no connection to this world anymore. It's all nonsense. Daisy, how do you know it's nonsense? What if it actually works, and we can contact spirits? Librarian ma'am, don't you all understand this is a library? You've been making noise and disturbing everyone for so long. If you want to talk, do it outside. Stop troubling others. Daisy, sorry, ma'am. We're leaving. Daisy, holding the paper, left the library, followed by her friends. Daisy, look, I don't know about you all, but I definitely want to play this game tonight at my house. If any of you want to join me, you're welcome. George, of course, I'll join. You can't play this alone. You need at least 2 people for this game. Don't worry, I'll come to your house. Peter and Denny, you guys can join too. Don't worry, no spirit will harm you. Peter, sure, we'll come. They all went home after college. At exactly 11 p.m., Daisy's doorbell rang. Her friends had arrived. She let them in, served them snacks, and George took out the paper from his bag. George, all right, enough eating. Let's start the real game now. Daisy, give me 2 pencils, please. Daisy handed 2 pencils to George, who placed them in a cross shape over the paper. George, listen, once we start this game, no matter what happens, we must not let go of each other's hands. If anyone does, it could be very dangerous for us. Now, hold each other's hands. George placed the paper in the center, and everyone sat around it in a circle. Then he said, George, Charlie, Charlie, are you here? At first, nothing happened, so George asked again, George, Charlie, Charlie, are you here? Again, there was no response. Denny mocked him. Denny, there's no Charlie here. Let's stop this nonsense. I'm feeling sleepy. Daisy, I'm going to your room to sleep. Before George could say anything, Denny let go of their hands and stood up. Daisy, what have you done? You know how dangerous this can be. Why did you let go? Denny, relax, it's nothing. If you don't believe me, watch this. Charlie, Charlie, are you here? George, oh no, there's something here. Denny, sit down now, or we're in big trouble. Terrified, Denny rejoined the circle, holding George and Daisy's hands. Daisy asked, Daisy, Charlie, Charlie, can you hear us? The pencil spun again and stopped at yes. George, do you need our help? The pencil stopped at no. Daisy, it doesn't need our help, so we should say goodbye and end the game. George, no, Daisy. We can't end it until the spirit decides to leave on its own. Suddenly, Peter began trembling violently. His body twisted unnaturally. Denny, terrified, what's happening to Peter? What have you all done? If anything happens to him, I won't spare you too. George, calm down, Denny. We didn't do anything. Look, we need to finish this game. Peter will be fine. Peter's eyes rolled back, turning completely white, and he laughed maniacally. Peter, Denny, my sweetheart, I've returned. I thought you missed me, so I came back to meet you. Denny, no, this can't be real. You can't come back, ha 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 ha, no, 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 no. I can come back. I'm back, my love. Daisy, fearfully. This voice. Before Daisy could say anything further, Peter began to twist his own bones. The sound of his bones cracking echoed through the room. Peter's face still wore that evil smile. Sometimes, he would laugh his demonic laugh, while at other times, he screamed in agony from the pain of his broken bones. Ruby, seeing Peter's condition, was so terrified that she couldn't even speak a word. George, we shouldn't stay here. We need to go to the church, Father can help us. Ruby, terrified, yes, please, hurry. Peter, no, 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 my sweetheart. Stay with me. You promised to live and die with me. Now, I won't let you go. Come on, come to me quickly. Ruby, scared, no, no. Stay away from me. Ruby began to retreat, trying to save herself, but suddenly Peter stood up with his broken body and lunged at Ruby. In one swift motion, he dragged her into the house's storeroom. Ruby's screams echoed throughout the house, as she desperately shouted for help. Daisy, hurry, George. We need to go to Father, or they'll, George, don't worry, Ruby. Nothing will happen to them. Let's hurry. The two rushed through the drawing room window and reached the nearby church. But by the time they arrived, Father had already left. In their desperation, they both put on Holy Cross lockets from the church for their protection. With no other way to seek help, they took a bottle of holy water from the church and rushed back home. When they returned, they went straight to the storeroom where Peter had dragged Ruby. But as soon as they opened the storeroom door, the sight in front of them made their hair stand on end. Like Peter, Ruby's bones had also been horribly broken. Her pupils had turned completely white. They touched their bodies, both of them realized that they were already gone. The two were in utter shock, unable to cope with the sight of their loved ones' deaths. Peter informed their family and buried their bodies in the cemetery the next day. The police investigated the case, but found no clues about their deaths. Daisy stood in her bedroom, tears in her eyes, staring at a picture hanging on the wall. Daisy, crying, just as you said, I did exactly that. I took my revenge, brother. Actually, Daisy's older brother Steve had loved Ruby dearly and wanted to marry her. But Daisy had been with him only for his money. She repeatedly fooled Steve and took his money, spending it on her lover Peter. Peter knew all about this, but he, too, was hungry for money. Ruby had taken full advantage of Steve, but one day, when Steve found out the truth, he couldn't bear it and ended his life. After her brother's death, Daisy was left completely alone. Her parents had passed away in her childhood, and now, with the loss of her brother, Daisy had no one left. Despite all her efforts, she couldn't understand why her brother had done such a thing. One day, while searching, Daisy found a diary under her brother's bed that he had written before ending his life. Upon learning the truth about her brother's death, Daisy was devastated. She couldn't bring her brother back, but by avenging his death, she was able to free his soul from torment forever.